It's June already and 10th edition is nearly here. However, today we're talking about Forge World Necrons and of course a lot more. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking and welcome to this live stream. It's the 1st of June, it's the first Thursday of the month, which means Necrons and More live. Good evening everyone, I hope you are all well, enjoying, if you've got it, the sun, because yeah, it's been really nice here in the UK. The sun is setting right behind me. I'm sure the image will get slightly better once the sun disappears, but it's nearly there. So yeah, let's have a look, see who we have in the stream tonight. We have our faithful Jar. Hello Jar, nice to see you in the chat. We've got Alexander, hello there, I'm ready and waiting, good stuff. We have Craig Holand, he says hi Nick, hello. And we've also got Christopher from Germany. And yeah, it's really nice to see everyone here. Hopefully the sound is okay. I don't usually have any sound issues, but if there is a sound issue, let me know before I talk too much. So yeah, it's June, I can't believe it. It's halfway through the year already. How has that happened? Necron Girl is going to be 15 at the end of this month. Wow, 15, cannot believe it. And she's my youngest child because I've got two other children which are older. So yeah, it's just crazy how time is going so quick. And of course, the big thing that's happening in June is also 10th edition. So yeah, pre-order on the 10th of June. I am going to be buying, if I can get them. I should be able to, because I'm going to the Games Workshop store. I'm not going to do it online. But yeah, Richard and I are going to buy a Leviathan box set each, and we're going to split it. I'm going to have the two Tyranid halves, and he's going to have the two Space Marine halves. And of course, I'm looking forward to getting those Necron data cards and just finding out what the Necrons are going to be all about, or at least until we get the proper rules, the Codex, which is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. We have Mark Atkins. He says, "Tent baby!" He's looking forward to it, obviously. We also have Abraxis 2009. Hi there, nice to see you in the chat. So yeah, we're going to start off this show with a little channel and hobby update. We are then going to do Necrons of the Week. I'm then going to talk about something really exciting coming up to the channel. And then we're going to do Tactical Corner, which is going to be all about Forge World. So hopefully you will enjoy the show. So let's start off with a channel update. I've recently hit 26,500 subscribers. Thank you everyone who is subscribed. I really do appreciate it. And actually I gained quite a few subscribers over the last couple of months, and views, probably more than I would normally do, which is fairly surprising considering I haven't really made that much 10th edition content, because obviously the Necrons really haven't got much. But I've just been making content around what I'm doing with the hobby more than anything. So that of course is yeah, what I've been making videos about, and you guys seem to enjoy the content, so that's really nice to see. So yeah, talking of content, I've been currently working on the ethos of one long form video on a Monday and then one or two shorts during the rest of the week. But more importantly, I've been trying to up my game on the community tab, because believe it or not, the community tab has a very good reach for me. So I've been doing a mixture of posts, and I've been trying to do a post every day that I haven't had a video basically go up. So we're doing a mixture of polls, of questions, sharing videos, sharing some of my old hobby stuff, and it's been great interacting with all you guys on there. So thank you to everyone who participates in those community posts, because it's a really nice way to stay in touch, basically. So yeah, I've been doing a lot more on the community posts, and I've been doing extra community posts on my membership page as well. So the Cryptic and Overlord members will be seeing extra content on those community posts as and when I've got something to share. So yeah, hopefully my members are enjoying the extra content as well. Thank you, of course, for being a member. And one thing I'm going to talk more about later, but I'm going to preempt that, is I have finally got the charity raffle ready to go. It's going to go, well, it's live now, but I've got a video coming up about it on Monday. We'll talk more about that in a minute, so not in a minute, later. So yeah, let's have a look and see what everyone's talking about. 15 in the chat and only 7 likes. Yeah, what's happening there? It's 14 likes now. Thank you, Jar. You might have G'd everyone up. What do you think is the coolest looking Necron unit or model? It's an incredibly hard question. Usually the coolest model is the one I've just finished painting, which means it's the Ghost Ark at the moment. You know, when you put all that effort into building and painting a miniature and then you play it on the table for the first time, that, you know, that, I don't know, but just to see that on the table is that really, really cool. So it's going to be Ghost Arks at the moment. Now, talking of Ghost Arks, brings me very nicely into the next section, which is a hobby update. So yeah, I've just finished painting my 2 Ghost Arks. Of course, I made videos all about the magnetising process and the painting process, and I've even played a game with those Ghost Arks and my other 2 that I've got. So I've got 4 Ghost Arks in total, all magnetised into Doomsday Arks. That battle report is up on the channel, and I played against Tyranids because Richard took control of my Tyranid army, and we had a really fun game. That was really, really good. We haven't finished playing 9th edition. We've got one more game, which is coming up tomorrow, which I'm going to talk more about later. But I thought I would try and do a cheeky little project before 10th edition hit and I get swamped with Tyranid miniatures. Now, I know on a previous stream I did say that I would be doing my Death Marks next, not Death Marks, Immortals, Tesla Immortals, because I do have some of those which I need to paint, but I didn't do that. After I finish my 2 additional Ghost Arks, I have a 9-litre box, and in that box I have 2 Ghost Arks and 2 Annihilation Barges. So I've got one filled up, and the other one just has 2 Ghost Arks in. So I thought I would do 2 Annihilation Barges to go in that box. I already had some of the models which were donated to me from one of my very, very kind subscribers with a load of other stuff. So I had one Annihilation Barge on the sprues and one which was, well, I'm not sure if it was half built or half broken, but I had another one which needed some TLC. So I've magnetised both of those, and yesterday I primed them black ready for painting. So I'm hoping to get those painted before 10th edition actually drops, which I should do. What have I got? I've got till the 24th, so 3 weeks roughly. Should be plenty of time. So that's what I've been doing hobby-wise. Yeah, so that is the channel and hobby update. That's it. Yeah, the Hexmark thing looks cool. I want one. Hexmark destroyers, I love them. Got to be the Glockopus. Okay, we're talking about our favourite miniatures. Yeah, the Hexmark destroyer, it's okay. It's not one of my favourite miniatures. Sorry. The coolest model would be a new Trazin. Yeah, I'm sure it will be, Jar, and yeah, hopefully it happens. Hopefully it happens. Still working on my monolith. Fair play. Yes, Ghost Arcs and Monolith, my favourite miniatures. Excellent. Has anyone done a custom Catan in the middle of the Tesseract Vault? Also looking to use the Lady Olina from EOS. It's a good idea. I haven't seen anyone else do that, to be fair. I mean, I've done plenty of custom Catans, but not one actually in the vault. Okay, so I think we're going to move on to the first segment of the show once I found the right button. Okay, here we go.
Necrons
of the week.
Yes, it is time for Necrons of the week. And if you're new to this stream, this is a segment of the show where I look at some cool Necrons from around the community. These can be conversions, painted miniatures, or just something I think is just cool that I would like to share. And we usually have a customary, an obligatory Void Dragon in this segment, it always seems. So let's go table down and change the view because you don't want to see the back room, do you? Okay, we're actually going to talk about Forge World tonight, so why not show you a Seraptic heavy construct. Now this model here is actually only work in progress, so it isn't finished yet, but this is by Nate Donald, and I thought that this looks really cool. Actually, I think it's one of my favourite looking Seraptics that I've seen. You can see obviously on the left hand side there he hasn't finished the highlighting on some of that leg, but you can see obviously on the other side all the highlights that he's done, and look, really cool. Not sure how many pictures we've got of this. There we go, there's a size comparison. I really do like the Seraptic model, and I'm very lucky to own one, so yeah. But I thought that was really nice. I'm not sure if he's used metallic greens. It's got a slight sheen to it, or if it's just plain green. I'm not 100% sure on that, to be fair, but what do you think? Oh wow, the gold really stands out for me. Yeah, the gold and the green. It's a really nice colour scheme, isn't it? Scott says, working on Tesseracts now, wanting to use the purple Sun Min for the Catan. Way too big. Ah, okay. Right, let's have a look at the next one. We've got this guy here, this very awesomely painted Kit Bash, or converted Overlord, and this is by Mathis Lafitte. Yes, Mathis Lafitte. And wow, I mean, the conversion is very nice, but the painting is awesome. I want to swear because it's that good. Love the orb. The orb looks fantastic. I love the scythe. The blends, the transitions, the colours just looks really nice. And I like the fact that he's used the glaive hand and actually kept that glaive holding the staff, or the scythe. Just gives him that extra sort of credibility as such. But yeah, I really like this guy. I thought he looked awesome. Wow, Jar says, how can I participate? Well, it's sort of random, to be fair. I just find images, but if you want to submit some images for me to have a look at, the best place to do that is in the IDICBeer Wargamers Unification Facebook group. So yeah, check that out. Ask to join, answer the simple questions, and I'll accept you, and you can post your pictures there. He looks like an Egyptian god. He does, doesn't he? Yeah. Obviously the base still needs to be finished off, but I'm sure he will look just epic on his base. Okay, let's go on to the next one. And the next one is like a little mini army showcase. And this is by Tarrant Evans. I'm going to go closer, so there's quite a few pictures here. And here we go. Now, I thought these miniatures looked really, really nice. A fairly basic paint scheme. It's Necrons, you know, we're silver and we're green. But I love the detail, the crispness and the finish of these guys. I mean, that blade looks beautiful. It almost looks basic, but it doesn't look basic. You know, it just looks really, really nice. And I love the bases, and I love the way he's put a little green like edge highlight around the rims of the bases, just to finish them off. Yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to painting. Really, really nice miniatures. I would say fantastic job. I really like them. What do you think though? Let me know in the chat box. You guys don't use Discord? I don't use Discord. No. I tried it, couldn't get on with it. Too many notifications, just another platform to take up my time. So I just stuck with Facebook. So yeah, that's where I do my stuff. Hello, Underdog Painting, Bazza. How you doing? Sad, don't have Facebook anymore. Thank you for explaining. Okay, if you don't have Facebook, that's okay. Do you have Instagram? Because if you do, you can hit me up on Instagram. Either post some pictures there and tag me, or just send me a private message. So I have done some Instagram sharing pictures as well, so not a problem if you're on Instagram. Failing that, if you don't have any of that, then you can email me. IDICBeer@gmail.com. There you go. Right, let's have a look at the next one. The next one is from Aidan Doyle, and he says, this was my first Necron unit I painted. It took me way too long, but I'm happy with the result. I'm going to zoom in for you to have a closer look. There he is. And I thought for a first time paint job, looks really cool. So yeah, well done, Aidan. And I'm liking the sort of worn sort of metal look, very similar to how I do mine. Your green is a slightly different highlights to how I do mine, more sort of a subtle highlights, but there, it looks really cool. Well done, and I can't wait to see a whole army painted like that. We have Richard in the house. Hello, Richard from CM Wargames. Of course, my main gaming buddy. If you're not subscribed to his channel, make sure you are, because Richard is going to be posting lots of 10th edition videos, tactical videos that he does on Space Wolves and lots of other armies. So yeah, go and check him out. Honestly, I think there's something to be said for subdued Necrons. It appeals to me. I must admit, even when I painted my Eldar, I don't go for like really bright like highlights and stuff. I like the subtle, I like subtle highlights more than sort of bright, like comic-y type, not comic-y, like comic type highlights. Personal preference, that's just me. I must admit, like, extreme highlights do pop on the miniature a lot more, but I just prefer the more subtle highlights. Okay, next up we have this guy here, the obligatory Void Dragon, and this one is by Zach Coltum. And of course he's gone for this very contrasting orange and sort of silver black type look. With the purples in there as well, which is a really nice secondary colour. Purple and orange just go together so well, and I thought really, really nice job. Let's just see if there's any more pictures of this guy. No, there isn't. Let me just go the other way just in case. Here we go. So yeah, you can see the purple here actually on the bottom here. Potentially this is airbrushed, but I'm not 100% sure on that. We got some other models there, extra Necrons of the week. And well, we usually have 5, models to show you, but today I'm going to spoil you because I've got one more, and guess what? It's another Void Dragon. So yeah, this one is from Ad Melcher, and it's very, very different, this one, with the pink. I actually like it, and to be fair, this is a work in progress miniature. He says work in progress, but pretty excited how it's coming along, and I can't blame you for that because it's looking really, really cool. I like the contrast with the very dark actual Catan himself, and then those really bright colours on the outside, so it's the opposite to what most people paint it. But yeah, looking really good. I was quite impressed with that, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed looking at those Necrons of the week. Let's get back to a normal view, and I'm going to put my subscriber loop on because I forgot to do it. There you go, it's now on. We stared lovingly into, I've got my cursor over that, oh yeah, into each other's eyes across the table before Nick ran screaming. Those colours on the Void Dragon really pop, I agree. Oh, you'd like my army then. Oh, if you like pink. Pink runs are cool. Everyone likes pink runs, don't they? So, let's move on to the next thing I'm going to talk about, and that is my charity raffle. So I'm going to explain what it's all about, just in case you haven't heard about it yet. And we're going to go from there. So, first of all, I played one of my subscribers last year, David. You may have seen the battle report. He played Death Guard, and I played my 60 Flayed One Cult Renown Army. And we had a great game, fun day, and David also donated some miniatures to the channel for me to raffle off to try and make some money for charity. So we decided on Mind as a charity, and yeah, we've got the miniatures ready to go. So I have them here in a box. We've got the certificate from Siege Studios, because they were painted by Siege Studios, and we've got a Triarch Stalker, and we've got 3 very cool Necron Wraiths, really nicely painted, and I'm going to raffle these off to try and raise as much money as I can for Mind. So I'm going to officially announce this on my channel on Monday. So I have a video ready to go up on Monday, but I know you guys here in the live stream, you know, some of my hardcore followers, so I thought I would share it here for you guys too. So what I'm going to do is go back to a table down, and I'm going to show you the page. So I've got a page set up here. It's a website called Raffle. You basically take all the legalities away from basically raffling off prizes for money, because there's quite a lot of law around them. They do take a 10% commission, fair enough, but basically I'm going to donate everything that I raise to Mind, less of course the 10% commission, and then postage to wherever I have to post it, because postage is quite expensive. I mean, the last thing that I posted to America cost me like £80. It was like ridiculous. But it was quite a big heavy box, so this will be a smaller box. So the tickets are going to be £5 each, and you can buy as many tickets as you like. You have to answer a question which I didn't set. It was a question which Raphael set, and I found there's like a choice of questions, so I went for the one which was sort of most in liking with what we do, and that was how many dots are on a pair of dice, d6 dice. So pretty easy question to answer. And yeah, I've got to have it running for basically a month. So yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. I'm looking forward to doing this, raising money for charity, giving away some awesome Necron miniatures. And I've got a link to the raffle in the description below this live stream. As I said, the official video will go up on Monday. I do have an advert as such, a video on this raffle page, which is a clipped version of the video that will go up on Monday. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you are up for it and you've got a spare £5 to maybe enter the raffle. It would be nice so that when the video goes up on Monday and people click onto the website, that there's a few tickets sold already. So yeah, if you're up for it, I would appreciate it. Don't worry about sharing it yet, but when that video does go live on Monday, if you can share, then that'd be awesome. Hopefully we get some traction and just raise as much money as we can. So yeah, thank you, David, for giving me these models to do it. And like I said, it's painted by Siege Studios. They're no way affiliated with the raffle. They don't even know anything about it as far as I'm aware. But I will contact James from Siege Studios once the raffle's up and see if he might share it for us, because that would be nice. So yeah, that is my charity raffle. Let me get onto a different screen. Here we go, we're back and the sun has gone down. Let's have a look. Yep, and what a beautiful scene from the balcony I have. Very lucky. But the video quality is a bit better now, so that's good. Let's see what you say. Mark Atkins says they look awesome but don't fit the colour scheme of my army. That's fair enough. You could just have a little side faction. Same here, Mark. Yeah, I think these are... Is it Mefrit? Yeah? Mefrit Dynasty. But, I mean, even if you just have them in your display cabinets, they look really cool. They do look cool. The Wraiths, by the way, have the little particle casters on. And the Triarch Stalker has the heat ray on. They're not magnetised or anything, but that's how they are. But yeah, it's just something David and I thought would be really good to do. Help out the channel, maybe get the channel sort of out there a bit more. So hopefully people sort of share the raffle. But obviously, primary goal is to raise as much money as we can for Mind. So yeah. Haha, side dynasty, yeah, absolutely. Probs just repaint them when I win. You can do that if you wish, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so that's the charity raffle talked about, and I'm going to have a quick drink because I'm really dry, as always, for some reason. Got my avatar. Right, here we go then. So we're going to move on to the next segment, and that is...
Necrons!
Tactical Corner.
Yes, Necrons Tactical Corner, which isn't really Tactical Corner at the moment, let's face it. 10th edition is like 3 weeks away. But I do have something that I want to talk about, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And potentially, if all goes well, I might make this into a little mini video as well, because sometimes I do that from my live streams because, well, it gives me extra content and not everyone watches my live streams, so it sort of makes sense. Now I'm going to turn off the little subscriber loop for this, because when I'm editing the videos afterwards, sometimes that just gets in the way. Right, we'll turn that off. There we go. Okay, so I've got my notes. So, Games Workshop have discontinued some of their Necron Forge World miniatures. Does this mean Forge World are dead? It's coming right up. Yes, we are talking about Forge World miniatures. Yeah, obviously we had the community post, which we're going to look at in a bit, and yeah, some of the Forge World miniatures are disappearing, and of course today we heard about the Horus Heresy stuff. Or was it today or yesterday? Anyway, time's going so quick, but things are changing with GW quite dramatically by the looks of it. So I want to talk about Forge World first. So I own a Necron pylon, and I purchased that many years ago. I went to Games Day, I think it was 2002, and I bought a Necron pylon, as it was called then. It's now called the Gauss pylon. It cost me £85, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I went to Games Day and I had to come back with something, and that was what I came back with. Built it, painted it, and never played it. for many years, I never played it. Back in those days, we were playing 1,500 points, and the pylon was like really expensive, quite niche on the table. We just used it for terrain for quite some time. However, as time went on and it got to around 7th, 8th edition, I started to play the pylon a bit more, but not in 9th edition. Don't think I've played it in 9th edition. I haven't really played much Forge World, to be fair, in 9th edition. But the point was that Necrons only had the pylon back in those days. So when I got my next army, which was Tyranids, not Tyranids, Eldar, when I got my Eldar army, I went to town with Forge World. They had the Mark II Wave Serpents. I don't know whether they have it still or not. But I got all of those upgrade kits for all of my Eldar miniatures. So even my Fire Prisms have the Mark II Wave Serpent kit. I adapted it, filled in all the gaps and sanded it down. I went crazy on Forge World stuff. I bought the Forge World avatar. I had lots of fun. This was in a time when maybe I was a bit more flush, let's say, with money before 3 little children came along. But yeah, I enjoyed Forge World, but it is an expensive way to go, let's say, with the hobby. We'll come back to some of your comments in a bit. Now, over time, of course, Necron's got quite a few added Forge World miniatures to the range, which was really nice to see. And I got myself some Acanthrites, although admittedly I didn't buy these from Forge World. I bought these from a fellow subscriber stroke YouTuber, the great Jojo Man. He had 3 and I bought them from him. They were unbuilt, new in a bag. So I built those and also converted 3 old Necron Wraiths into Acanthrites. So I basically got a unit of 6 Acanthrites. I also bought, because I got a bonus from work at exactly the same time it came out, the Seraptic Heavy Construct. And I actually bought that with both gun options, and I magnetised it to have both gun options. So I did add a few models to the range. But I haven't got like all of them. I haven't got the Tomb Sentinels. I haven't got the Tesseract Arc, etc. I've just got a few models, a splattering as such. Now, of course, Forge World miniatures not only are expensive, but actually a lot of hard work. You have to soak and wash that resin. I've heard quite a few horror stories of missing bits and bad instruction books, and bent pieces, although on the flip side I've heard that Forge World customer service is like spot on. So if you do have any issues, they do sort you out. And actually I had a issue with my Seraptic. I ordered both gun options, but I received 2 of the same guns. So I contacted them and they sent me the other gun option for free. So effectively I've got 3 gun options. I've still got a spare set of guns in my bits box, which I will use for a conversion maybe one day. But yeah, Forge World's customer service seems to be very good. Now we did lose the Sentry Pylon not that long ago, and now we've lost some more miniatures. So let's take a look at the community post and have a chat about that. Okay, let's have a quick look at your comments before we move on. Just got to scroll back down if I can, hopefully see them. How do I do that? Struggling. Oh dear. There's my daughter's laptop. I haven't got a clue how to use it. Alright, here we go. Come on. When I actually get there, right. You guys have really been chatting, haven't you? Yeah, a lot of Horus Heresy models now went to Legends. Yeah, absolutely. I hate Forge World, absolutely overpriced, a really bad material. They certainly are expensive, aren't they? Is Games Workshop going to have Forge World push into the off games? Possibly, yeah. I'm really struggling with this computer here. Recently bought a Leviathan Dread and a Spartan ready for 10. Not happy. Can't blame you. Can't blame you. Didn't we do a Wolves versus Pylons? Not sure if that was 8th or 9th. That was definitely not 9th. No, that was 8th. When I played 9 Sentry Pylons, a Gauss Pylon, I think it was 2 Gauss Pylons, and a Cryptek. I got some fine cast resin. It is the same material. Is it the same material? It supposedly isn't the same material, but wait till I come to my notes. I hate my HQ characters so ugly and not straight. Yeah. I refused to buy fine cast resin many years ago. Kit bash plastic for me until we get actual new miniatures. Right, let's, pardon me, go table down and have a look at the next segment that I'm going to talk about. Which you can't see, so we need to change the view. Facebook view off, community post view on. Yes, there we go. We're up and running. Okay. Right, so this is the community post. I'm not going to read everything on here, but of course we lost a few Space Marines. I say we, I don't care about that. Space Marines, so what? So yeah, we've got some Imperial units leaving. We've got some Chaos units leaving. The Keeper of Secrets, I mean, there's no surprise there, I suppose. And we've got a new plastic big Keeper of Secrets. The Bloodthirster, I mean, we've got plastic Bloodthirster. I mean, it's making sense that Forge World are probably just getting rid of these. Scrolling down, we come to the Xenos range leaving us. Now, before we talk about Necrons, we've got some Tyranids that are going, which I'm quite sad to see go. I mean, the Madanthropes and the Dimmacharon were miniatures that I wanted to add to my army. And that Dimmacharion, Dave, as Aceface used to say when I played Ace, because he's got two of these. Really, really cool miniature, and it's not actually that old either. It hasn't been out that long. Now, of course, we've got the Necron ones going, so very sad to see the pylons going. And actually, it says Necron. It doesn't say Gauss pylons, although it's a picture of the Gauss pylon. It just says pylons there, so presumably that's all of them. Is that right? Let's look at the Forge World website quick. No longer available. Yeah. Yeah, last chance to buy. So it is literally all of the pylons. I didn't realise that even. I thought it was just the Gauss pylon. Wow. So yeah, all pylons gone. Ouch. And then, of course, the Night Shroud. The Night Shroud is a miniature I definitely wanted to get. Never had a chance to play it. And that's a big shame. Going, gone. And of course, I mean, that GW didn't even put a link to the Forge World website in this post because they know it's all going to be sold out. It was probably even sold out before they put this post up. But yeah, none of the miniatures in the Necron range anyway are available anymore at all. You know, literally sold out in like half an hour. I wanted the bomber as well. Yeah, it's really, really cool miniature. And then we've got, and very, very sad to see, the singularity generators. What the hell? So the Seraptic is now losing a gun option. And this is the gun option actually that I always play because I really liked the rules for it. And when the Seraptic first came out, both guns were good, but I felt the generators were slightly better, especially the way I played the Seraptic. If you use the other guns, the transdimensional, whatever they're called, you have to stand, well, you don't have to, but usually you would stand back and just shoot the guns, whereas these ones you could move forward, get into close combat, and you have those guns there. I just felt they were better, a better option. However, they're gone, and I'm really sad, especially as I've got them, and I've got them magnetized as well. So, and I'm assuming that these are going, and that means the rules are going for them as well. So literally, just like bye bye. It's really sad. Am I correct in saying, I assume I am, that the rules are going to be gone for these guns, as well as obviously the models, and the pylons, and the Night Shroud bomber? Yeah, we're just not going to be able to use them anymore. Is that correct? Am I right? And then that's it, really. So there's no other news on there for Necrons apart from those. Isn't it a shame about the orcs? I didn't really see the orcs. Buzzgob, whoever that is. Stomp ahead, stomper left, dropper arm. No orcs will be always survive. Gauss pylon was sold out before the war compost, but the bomber took a day. Oh, there you go. So yeah, just waiting for one of you guys just to confirm about the only in tournaments. So is it going to be a bit like the Horus Heresy stuff, where we're going to have the rules and the points for them, but they're just not going to be updated? Or is it just going to be no more rules, we don't do that gun anymore, you've had it? Legends rules won't be updated again. Right, yeah, okay. I think maybe that's what it is then. Could be just legends, so you know, we can still play them, but obviously say not in tournament play, and they won't be updated, so you could end up with either just bad rules or just overcosted points. But either way, it's a bit disheartening. Right, just going to change the view. Yeah, legend stuff will mean only playable in friendlies. Does it actually say in that post though that they are going to legends? I'm not sure. Can't remember that bit. Anyway, let's continue. However, I have to be honest, I've been worried about Forge World for quite some time. I mean, the Tomb Citadel, that went quite some time ago. I think that was quite understandable. It was an expensive board, effectively, and whilst it was very cool, I don't know how popular it would have been for that amount of money that it was. And of course, a lot of the miniatures have been made in plastic now. So if you look at the Tyranid Morlock miniature, or at least the because obviously the Morlock can go into the 3 different versions, can't it? I'm not sure which Forge World one it was, whether it was actually the Morlock or one of the other versions of it. But of course that became plastic, so Forge World didn't really need the plastic, the resin miniature. So I think we could almost see this coming. Potentially, that's one reason why I haven't really gone too heavy in Forge World. The cost, of course, as well. But yeah, investing in these miniatures when you think, well, hang on, you know, the next Necron release might actually have a plastic version of this miniature. It might go into the Codex and be, you know, Tomb Sentinel. You might get a plastic one. I mean, hey, we can kit bash the Tomb Sentinel, can't we? I'm on the wrong camera. We can kit bash the Tomb Sentinel, can't we, using Necron Wraiths. So, I mean, I'm sure Games Workshop could make a plastic version of that miniature. So do we really need a resin version? You know, so I think maybe the writing's been on the wall for quite some time. Forge World is expensive. It's a lot of work to build, and quite fragile as well, especially some of those spindly little pieces. And I've even heard some horror stories that some of the Forge World kits have been containing fine cast pieces. Not the whole fine cast kit, but some of the pieces being fine cast. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I saw somebody commenting about this, which really surprised me. And so, yeah, do we really need resin like these days? Especially when you consider 3D printing as well. So not only could probably Games Workshop make most of the Forge World miniatures in plastic, but hell, we could 3D print them, or at least similar things to them. So I don't know, how much longer is Forge World going to be around? You know, is it dead? That's the question I'm asking myself. Okay, so I've got one more segment to this piece. Nick said the bad words, Rolf. It would be nice if all night-sized models were plastic for all factions. Clearly, they can do it, can't they? Clearly. I mean, maybe it's just not cost-effective to make those plastic molds. I mean, I don't know. I don't know nothing about molding. But what I do know is that it's not looking good for Forge World, is it? Let's face it, it's not looking good. Right, okay, so here we go then. Now, I have a game coming up, my last game of 9th edition. And with the news of these Forge World miniatures disappearing, I thought, just for fun, I would utilise some of my Forge World miniatures in my last game. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got an army list with the Necron Gauss pylon, the Soraptic heavy construct with the generator guns, and I've got some Acanthrites in there. Now I know Acanthrites are not disappearing, but I've got the Forge World miniatures, so I want to throw them in there as well. So that's going to be really, really cool. And just to keep within the theme of playing miniatures I never really played in 9th edition, I'm going to play 2 units of Praetorians. One with the rods and one with the shields. So yeah, 2 units of them, and I'm going to chuck in Illuminor Xeris as well, because it's another really cool miniature that I just really haven't played that much. I've played him a few times, so I've chucked him in there as well, and I'm really looking forward to playing this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course I'm going to be recording the battle reports, my last ever game of 9th edition. I have zero thoughts about winning the game. I'm not going to win the game. I know that. I probably will get hardly any points. I know that. But I tell you what, I'm going to have a lot of fun. And it's going to be great just to play these miniatures, potentially for the last time. So stay tuned for the battle report, and I will see you in the next video. Right, there you go. Just signing myself out, and that's done. Hopefully you enjoyed that little chat about Forge World. We've got 9 minutes left of the stream, so we've got time for a little Q&A, and we'll finish up with some questions from you guys. But there are some great 3D print kits. Absolutely. There are indeed. Absolutely. Okay, we've got why not use lots and lots of points? For the last game we could do, but we are time constrained, to be fair. That's one of the main issues. Richard and I have a limited amount of time, although it is half term tomorrow, but you know, we usually have about probably 6 or 7 hours to play during a half term period, which is more than we normally do. We normally get about 5 hours because it's usually a school day. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I did have my list actually ready to show you, but I think I ran out of time because I just waffled on too much. But I will quickly, let's just show you the list anyway whilst you're here. Right, let's go here. I had this little fancy thing going where I was going to surprise you with the units. So this is going to be my list. I'm going to use the custom Who Gives a Beep Dynasty, and I'm going to take Contemptuous of the Codes because I think it sounds exactly like what my army is thinking. They are in contempt. So I get +1 to hit against characters. To be fair, with the list that I'm taking, the protocols and the dynasty codes aren't really going to make too much difference, to be fair. But I'm also going to go for Interlopers, which gives me 6 to auto wound against infantries and bikes and close combat. It was the only one really that I thought actually suited the list. And I'm going to go for All Game Protocol Living Metal. So we're going to bring up the next one. So next was going to be Illuminor Xeris, just because I can, and he's going to augment the Praetorians that I've got, potentially the Acanthrites as well. So yeah, let's move up. Now these are the units I didn't tell you about just a minute ago. In the elite slot, I'm playing the Hexmark Destroyer and a Plasmacite. You Necron players will know why I'm playing that, but I'm not going to say anything because Richard is in the chat. He probably knows, but just in case he doesn't. And then we've got some Crypto Thralls, 2 Crypto Thralls, just to bodyguard Illuminor. And then we've got the fast attack. So yeah, 6 Acanthrates. I've chucked in 3 Scarabs because I had 45 points left over. Perfect. And then, yeah, 2 units of 10 Triarch Praetorians, one with rods and one with the casters and void blades. They won't benefit from the dynasty codes, etc., but, you know, who cares? At least Illuminor can buff them. It'll be interesting to see what buffs we get. And then we've got the Lords of War, a Gauss pylon, and a Seraptic with the generators. I have played the Seraptic in 9th edition. It's way overpointed for the rules that it has. If it had a 4+ invulnerable save, it would be worth 600 points. It doesn't. It's not worth 600 points. But who cares? Who gives a beep? As the list is called. So yeah, 2,000 points, 6 CPs. I've got my protocols all ready to go. So turn 1 will be Eternal Guardians, turn 2 Hungry Void, turn 3 Shoot and Fall Back, turn 4 will be Shoot and do actions. No, probably not. It probably will be +1 inch movement, and then turn 5 is Vengeful Stars. Like I said, I've got no thoughts of winning. I've only got thoughts of playing Richard, rolling some dice, having some fun. So yeah, that is my list. He ruined my auto take secondary. No prisoners. Yes, it's the first time in the whole of 9th edition that you haven't taken no prisoners. Talking of secondaries, I haven't got a clue what I'm taking. Probably Bring It Down. Probably Treasures of Eons. I have to be honest, Richard has showed me what mission we're playing. I haven't even looked at it yet. So I'll look at it tomorrow before I go around his house. Have a look at that, work out my objectives, come up with a little plan. But the plan really is to roll some dice, have some fun. So yeah, that's that. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Predictions of new models for 10th edition. Predictions are some new characters. Finecast characters into plastic. I don't think we'll get them all. We might get 1 or 2. And I really wouldn't be surprised if we lose some of our characters in the codex. Stroke whole release. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised. I also think we'll get some Locust Destroyers, new kit. I have a feeling it's going to be the Locust Heavy Destroyer miniature, but with a different sprue for the gun. I have a feeling. I mean, that would make total sense, wouldn't it? Why they didn't do that in the first place? Just put 2 guns in there. You can make a Locust Heavy Destroyer. You can make a normal Heavy Destroyer. You can make a Locust Destroyer and a Heavy Destroyer with this kit. Here it is. Buy it. Probably they had some normal destroyers to sell still. Hoping for a new Plastic Knight to bring out. Indeed, actually, that's the other thing as well, of course. We do have 2 resin Catans. And I heard that Catans were mentioned in one of the community interviews. So it would be... I mean, the way they worded it was this, as if we were going to get another Catan. I think that would be the wrong move to introduce another Catan miniature. Well, it'd be really cool. But I'm pretty sure that Games Workshop are just stopping Finecast. I mean, there's no new miniatures coming out with Finecast, and they're gradually replacing the Finecast. So I think the Nightbringer and Deceiver will happen at some point. But when? Who knows? Who knows? No prisoners, I'm still taking. I'm hoping you roll good on the reanimation. That will be a big hope. No, it'd be really good fun. And I have to say that Richard and I have probably, over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, probably had the most fun that we've had. Well, I feel like we've had the most fun that we've had. playing 9th edition. It's been really, really good. I think it all started with when we started to play the 3rd edition list and the 3rd edition mission, and then Rich has played some more sort of fluffy type lists, and then obviously played my Tyranids as well, and I've been playing some different type lists. You know me, I always like to play different lists. That's what I enjoy. You know, I enjoy unusual lists, but trying to make them work on the table. Sometimes it happens, sometimes I win, which is amazing. Right, there you go. That is our 1 hour. So really hope you enjoyed the stream, and hopefully I will see you on the first Thursday of July for the next one. See you later.